Ball Chat followers and football lovers, welcome to another wonderful episode reviewing football. Ball Chat, another episode this week. I'm your host Benton, along with
Kevin,
Junior,
and of course we have Come On. How are you doing, Come On?
I'm good. How are you?
What a wonderful week in football again. And so this week we're going to review football as usual, and let's get to it. Ballers and Bug segment. Let's kick it off. Come on, who you have as your baller this week?
My baller will be Sergio Aguero with the hat trick. Even though the last goal kind of shaky, he played good football today, so he's my baller of the week.
So Sergio Aguero of Manchester City scored a hat trick against Arsenal, and the Arsenal fans are very emotional at the moment. But Sergio Aguero, the last goal, there were some questions about if it was a handball or not. So, but he was very impressive. Kevin, who's your ball of the week, boss?
my ball of the week is the whole Argentine Football Federation. We've seen it's been, when we look at the last week that we've talked about the Atlanta United having enough patience and enough belief in a Barca to sign away Almiron. We've seen them draw for Pity. So of course Barca and Pity, Argentine, right?
Okay.
Sergio that scored a hat-trick, Argentine.
Yes.
Higuain what Chelsea run go for go beg Argentine.
So you're celebrating the Argentinian Football Federation for producing talent.
All over the leagues, they're rescuing them. The standard bearer Lionel Messi rescued Barca from Sevilla had them down. Again, Argentine. So the whole Argentinian Football Federation.
Yes, they're definitely producing very, very exceptional footballers. Argentinian FA is Kevin's ball of the week. Biggs.
honorable mention again to the West Indies cricket team. I'm gonna do it a second time.
This is a football show.
I am still giving them props because they destroyed England.
Man, get your Manchester United ball out of the way, man.
Okay, my Manchester United ball of the week goes to Mr. Paul Pogba. I'm going to publicly apologize to Paul Pogba again. Whenever you see this Paul Pogba, I apologize.
Please do not accept it.
You're a general, okay, sir? Thank you.
He begged for you to be traded.
And Paul Pogba is looking like a general. I mean, I saw this game today when Manchester United defeated Leicester City 1-0. And the passes that he pulled from the midfield, I mean, he looked like he's flowing into his game quite well.
Yes, sir.
I mean, some of us here speak as if we're surprised.
I
am surprised.
I'm not surprised, but I'm just, there's a tad bit of like, this guy has some really good upside.
What I am more surprised about was when he made the pass to Shaw, and Shaw miscontrolled the ball, and the ball went for a goal kick. The more surprising thing I saw when Shaw was coming back, he walked up to Shaw, gave him a 5, and tapped him on the back. That's leadership.
So Paul Pogba is Junior's ball of the week. Manchester United is doing exceptionally well. 10 games unbeaten run in all competition.
Yes, sir. My
baller of the week, Kevin. You said the standard bearer, the general, the indomitable Lionel Messi. This guy is an absolute phenomenal footballer. Messi was instrumental yesterday with the draw against Valencia, scored 2 exceptional goals, and in the middle of the week, Coutinho did exceptionally well in the comeback against Sevilla. Coutinho scored 2 goals, but the passing by Lionel Messi, as Jamaicans would have said, the vision, the way the man is dropping deep and pulling the strings. Messi, Regina, you make we love watch football right now. Now to segue to our bug of the week. Come on. Who is your bug of the week? Come on.
The entire Everton team. Down to the grounds, man. Him get the bug of the week. It's just ridiculous what's going on with Everton. So Everton is my bug of the week. Entire squad.
Yeah. And I guess we've been beating the Everton drum for a week now. or weeks now. Everton lost again to Wolverhampton, and Marco Silva put out in the press conference said, his players need to figure out a way how to fight. How to be competitive, how to be fighters.
Well, Wolves are fighters.
Isn't that Marco Silva's job to get his players to be fighters?
I have no clue, sir.
Well, the players are professionals, so if you have to motivate them week in, week out, it says something about the players.
Yeah. So Everton, Everton is trending in the wrong direction. Lost another game, so they lost 3-1 to Wolverhampton, a very impressive Wolverhampton team. Kevin, who's your bug of the week, sir?
My bug of the week is Bournemouth. And Eddie Howe, their coaching staff. Bournemouth lost to Cardiff. Right? They lost to Cardiff. Now, Cardiff is a team that has scored 1 goal the entire EPL season.
Yes.
And they scored 2 goals against Bournemouth in the first 5 minutes of the first half, and then the first 14 seconds of the second half. Cardiff, who their talisman and striker and their great hope for the season, didn't even play 1 game.
Yes.
Again, the Argentine, Mr. Salah.
Yeah,
he didn't even play 1 game for them.
Yes.
And he was there to beat Bournemouth yesterday.
Yes.
In spirit.
And I mean that's a really tragic thing for the Cardiff family and the community on the whole. Emiliano Sala is disappeared on his way to Cardiff, and so but I also think that they were really emotional, riled up. The entire Cardiff community was riled up for that game. So, but I understand where you're coming from, Kevin, about Bournemouth being the bug of the week for you, because they really destroyed Chelsea. So one would expect that they
4 goals to Chelsea and couldn't even score 1 against Cardiff.
One expected them to carry some of that into that Cardiff game. Maybe Cardiff give them money.
Bobby Reid, who had never scored a Premier League goal before. And he scored 2.
So Bournemouth is Kevin's bug of the week was Biggs. Who is your bug of the week?
1 word: relationship. And when we talk about relationship,
you having problems at home?
Remember, ball chat doesn't do counseling.
Well, some people need counseling, because I'm gonna give you a quote. Higuain is not fit enough.
Higuain is not fit.
Right, that's 1 quote I'm gonna give you. Another quote I'm gonna give you is, when I want a washing machine, I get a dryer.
Oh, it's a mercy of Pochettino. Mercy of
Something
Pochettino.
is wrong with the relationship between these coaches and the scouting staff, because there's no way Sarri is going to buy Higuain, start him the next day, and then come out and say he's not fit enough.
But how does a relationship get a bug of the week when it's not
Because
a person or an individual that carrying out any action?
it's personified.
Okay,
It's
personified.
personified in when we look at the relationship between coaches and the front office.
I think you're
Something
reaching
is
for
wrong.
that bug of
No,
the
I'm
week.
not reaching for the bug of the week.
Let me point out Junior's hypocrisy. This is a Jose Mourinho disciple. Jose Mourinho come out and say these things every week, right? And when Jose Mourinho would come out and say it, what would Junior go to? Paul Pogba not doing what he does. No, that these coaches are going out and just killing these players in the media, and sometimes are even proven wrong, right?
Yeah.
Then here he comes. It's a relationship.
So okay, all right. Well, I stand by my relationship.
So, Junior's bug of the week is relationship.
Yes, sir. The relationship between coaching and the front office.
And the front office. My bug of the week is some of the fans of UAE. UAE lost. We'll get to Asia Cup roundup. Lost to Qatar in the semi-final. And some of the UAE fans decided that they're going to throw shoes on the field.
Did they have fans? Didn't I hear Qatar bought the whole? Well,
no, UAE bought the game.
Yeah,
UAE. The game is being played in was played in Qatar in UAE, and so they bought all the tickets predominantly for the match. But they lost the game to Qatar. A very impressive Qatar that ended up, we'll get the Asian Cup roundup in a little bit. But the UAE fans, Virgin, you're not entitled to win. So, go on the field and pick up your shoes after this. Because, that was this. And we'll see if FIFA follow up with any sort of sanction on the UAE Federation. All right. So we're going to segue from our Ballers and Bugs segment to our football in Europe. And what a week in football in Europe. 2 leagues that really provide some really entertaining games, or 3 leagues that provide some entertaining games. And we're going to kick it off with our EPL review. Now, the standout games, or the games that really stood out for us, was Manchester City, and I want to get your thoughts on that. Manchester City lost to Newcastle, and then the Chelsea losing to Bournemouth game. But first of all, what's your thought? What's going on with Manchester City? Is there a lack of motivation? Are they missing talent? Or is it just, they just don't care this year. It's equate to locomotive. What is going on with Manchester? Or it just was a difficult game against Newcastle?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Newcastle is a team that plays with a lot of shape.
Yeah.
And Newcastle, when they play at home, it's a hard place to win. And they don't go to win necessarily.
Yeah.
They go to make sure that, especially with top teams, you don't beat them.
You don't,
so they keep their shape.
Yeah.
So what they did was scored early.
Yes.
And oftentimes City thinks that when they score early, they will score often.
The game is over.
And they keep looking for it and applying pressure, and they got caught on the counter. But the fact of the matter is, a team like Newcastle will hold their shape.
Yeah.
A team like Cardiff will hold their shape.
hold
There's
their
a lot
shape.
of teams in the EPL that don't score a lot of goals, but you can't score against them.
Yeah. And come on, what's your assessment of this Newcastle defeating City? I mean, what's your assessment of that game? It was just a bad day at the office for City, or it was just an impressive performance by Newcastle?
I agree with Kevin. Newcastle is a hard team sometimes to really break down. I don't think Man City was necessarily playing good football. They were off their game, and Newcastle kind of elevated their game a little bit. So there was a little balance, and it kind of made the league exciting. It made the race even better. I mean, I know some Liverpool fans will be happy about that. But, Kevin Wright, Newcastle played a good game.
Yes. And your assessment, Biggs, on
It's
that?
just testament to coaching.
Just as Rafa Benitez.
Rafa, it just shows that Rafa is a master tactician
Yes.
when he put a plan in place. So,
Yeah.
and that's all.
And he's good at relationships too.
Miguel is the baby of that relationship.
He's very good at relationship. Rafa Benitez. So very impressive by Newcastle to secure those 3 points. I mean, a team that's really trying to fight off any sort of relegation issues down the stretch. Those 3 points will come in very handy for a team like Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Very handy.
Absolutely.
Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Chelsea lost that game 4-0 to Bournemouth.
Do we have to?
Yeah, it's our EPL review. So we're just going to pick a few games. And, Chelsea followed up that Bournemouth defeat. They won this weekend impressively against a Huddersfield team. And yes, it's Huddersfield.
Exactly.
The perception after the Bournemouth defeat was that Mauricio Sarri, at least in some quarters, was that Mauricio Sarri might be losing his team. Is everything okay with the Chelsea squad in the back room?
Of course not.
Yeah.
The Chelsea is an assortment of individuals.
Okay.
Chelsea does not represent a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chelsea does not have an obvious team leader either on the bench or on the pitch. And they just go out there and they play individual football.
Yeah.
There is a stat out there. What is the stat? I don't want to take your stat. But tell me, what is the stat?
So Jorginho have had more passes in the EPL.
So that's an individual
passes,
stat.
so-
And they're all back passes.
You were saying, come on?
Please to mention their back passes as well.
Exactly. Then no.
Apparently, he and keeper have a special relationship. Like, he's supposed to talk about the keeper. Sorry, Kevin, continue.
So Mauricio Sarri needs some time to mold this into a cohesive unit.
No, it's not time. That's the way they've always been.
Yeah, but I mean, it's December. It's what, January now, right? So Mauricio Sarri should be given time to mold this into a complete unit, right?
We could look back to January of last year and the year before, and it was
Yeah,
the
but
same
he wasn't
thing.
there. He just started.
Right. So it's not Mauricio Sarri. The players were there.
Yeah. So, but Biggs, your assessment of Chelsea and this Bournemouth defeat, they followed up impressively with beating Huddersfield. And I must point out that in that game against Bournemouth, they had a chance, and I think it's Kovacic hit the post. So maybe if that's converted that chance, things would have turned out differently for them.
And that what you said a while ago is key. They are a bunch of professional players.
Yeah.
Very good professional players, but they're not a team.
Yeah.
So if a team go up there and hit them in the mouth, as a team they can't pull the socks up together. It's almost like they say, you know what? let them have it.
Let them have it.
So if that goal had scored early, the game could have been 20 times different.
There would have been a
but
different
they're
game.
not. They're just simply not a team.
And come on, we've heard you multiple times assess your Chelsea. What's the latest iteration or latest flavor of this your assessment of Chelsea today?
Listen, Chelsea is a bad man club. That's all I can say. It's like every man for themselves for true. Willian is like he wants to show what Willian can do on the pitch.
Yeah.
So he'll go on and he'll dribble and he'll hold his head down and he'll try to cut in where someone there that he can pass the ball to. So Kevin is right. There are a bunch of individual players, but remember, we've won so many trophies. So there's something there. They're professional players. They're good at their craft. So even if they're individual players, somebody is supposed to be able to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yes.
My theory is this. Sarri went out there and he ran off his mouth and then talked. And Hazard bring in a group of players and say, listen, we're going to teach this man a lesson that says we run things. And guess what? They went out there, they relaxed, and they let this idiot dibby side give us 4. I mean, I felt it in my gut every ball that hit the back of the net. It was like a shot to the gut for me. So can you just imagine how Sarri felt? He spent, 45 minutes in the locker room? He wouldn't come out to speak to the media or anything.
Yes, after that game, yeah.
In essence, was taught a lesson. And that's just my belief.
Yeah. So come on, do you have any gut left? I mean, all season you've been feeling it in your gut.
Yes, Kevin. My gut come back today after yesterday when we win 5-0. So that's how it is.
Yeah,
so
that's how it is.
A piece of me I leave every time them lose, and then it slowly come back, regenerate when we win. That's just how it is. So hopefully we win more than how we lose.
Well, hopefully you get to play Huddersfield every week.
Myself.
Hopefully you get to play Huddersfield every week.
Hopefully. But we did hand Manchester City their first loss of the season. Don't trip.
Yeah, all right. So that was weeks ago. Come on. Let's not just go on weeks or months ago. All right, so regarding, one of the biggest, we'll get to transfer roundup here in a little bit, but this Higuain transfer, does this address some of the at least short-term goal-scoring issues that Chelsea have had? I mean, he scored a couple goals. Yes, he scored 2 goals yesterday in the Huddersfield game, right?
Guys, I think we're getting over our heads. We're talking about Huddersfield.
Yeah, but
we're talking about Huddersfield.
That's the only data we have.
We're talking about Huddersfield. Let me get my Allen Iverson on. We're talking about Huddersfield. Huddersfield throw in the cap. They got rid of their coach.
But Junior always says this. You only get to play who is put in front of you.
Yes.
But let's be honest.
And we see what happens when you get to play Bournemouth.
But let's be honest. We've seen Chelsea play good football. Like when we beat Man City. We've seen Chelsea play good football. So what Ben was asking if this addresses the issue, maybe, and it's too early to tell because the first game Higuain played in, he got subbed because he seemed lost, right? And the problem was not only scoring. We were not defending. We were not playing good football. And even though we beat Huddersfield, we still were not 100%. We still need to fix different areas on the pitch. Yeah. So this is actually a band-aid on a gunshot wound, in my opinion.
Yeah. And we could dissect Chelsea all day, but one final point on Chelsea is that, Mauricio Sarri gave Christensen a run out in the game yesterday. And yes, Kevin, it's only Huddersfield. But just a reminder that Christensen was one of their linchpin defensively the last year or so until Sarri decided to bench him and bring on Rudiger or David Luiz. So maybe going forward, I don't know. But we'll see going forward. But I think defensively they have some issues and they have to try to address them.
Carry out.
that won't happen anytime soon. And then to kind of get your final thoughts on another EPL game, just to get your thoughts on the City versus Arsenal game today. Arsenal lost that game 3-1, and the Arsenal community is very upset, like they really expected to win. Come on, Arsenal. But
big up country, man.
But your thoughts on this? I mean, City, Pep Guardiola has been in the press recently after the loss, to Newcastle, and prior to that, he said that teams have outsmarted them in the transfer window. He said that he needed his team to respond and give an impressive victory. Was this an impressive victory against Arsenal for Manchester City?
It was as expected for me.
Yeah.
You just lost to Newcastle, and you're coming back at home to play against a better Arsenal team than Newcastle.
And did Arsenal trouble them a little bit there when they converted?
No, they didn't. No, I don't think. I think that was more like a wake-up call, but it wasn't troubling. Okay. You never, at no point in the game did I ever feel like Arsenal had a chance.
Yeah.
So
your assessment, Kevin.
I thought, as Junior said, going in, I expected this result. Arsenal is known to leak at the back, and City is a prolific goal-scoring team. So this is what I expected. However, Pep, being a consummate professional and a consummate tactician, put a few more wrinkles in the game. And he did not play wide touchline. He played a more direct football this week. And he called upon his players, particularly the defenders, to do a lot more work. He took Arsene from his side because he wanted some more work from Sterling, so he put Sterling on that side. But then what he did is real tricky. He had Fernandinho playing last man.
Yes, dropping back between the centre backs.
And then and still having him playing holding midfield at the same time.
Yes, and this is probably one of the cornerstone of some of the issues that's happening with Man City, right? To continue your point.
And then, so for that, what he did is almost had a strike partnership almost between David Silva and Kun Aguero.
Yeah, Sergio Aguero, yeah. But I want to piggyback on your Fernandinho point here in a little bit. But come on, your assessment of this game, was this a response? According to Pep, he was looking for an impressive response. Did you think this was an impressive response for Manchester City?
Yeah, Arsenal did better than I expected, to be honest. I was looking at a 5-1 loss. So 3-1 is actually good. Arsenal is supposedly, one of the top teams in the EPL. And it's like, you don't know what you're getting with them. The level of play is terrible. I don't know what the coach is doing. When you have a man like Kyle Walker, and I'm not a Kyle Walker fan. You have a man like Kyle Walker balling Arsenal, then something needs to be done. Arsenal just, it was just ridiculous coming from them today. When they equalized, I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be a 2-1. Maybe they're going to, as Josie would say, park the bus and just, get the game going or whatever. But once they started to let the goals in, then it was just balls out for them. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And so Kevin brought up an interesting point about Fernandinho, Pep tinkering with his system and dropping Fernandinho into the center, into the defense when they're on the defensive side of the football when the teams are attacking, when Arsenal was attacking them. Is Fernandinho playing too many minutes for this team? I mean, it's pretty much with him in the team, they're good. Without him, they're not good. Do you think that Manchester City has failed in terms of having ample cover for Fernandinho? He's 34 years old, a lot of miles on those legs. And in the Newcastle game, it was a Fernandinho error in the penalty box to give away that penalty. And yes, we all make errors, but do you think that Fernandinho is not, because now he's dropping in as a centre back to help out?
I think he's not. I think he's not playing too much minutes. But I think Pep was tinkering, yes, but Pep was also giving Fernandinho a chance to make up for last week.
Yeah.
And I think this is a confidence building thing for Fernandinho. So give him more responsibility in the back. And remember, where Pep's pedigree is from Barcelona. Remember, Mascherano was playing Fernandinho position and then turned into a central defender.
Okay.
Fernandinho is on his way to doing that too.
But you know what I wanted to ask too? I was like, what is this deal with Sané on the bench? Is it that everybody else in front of him is a better player? Is it a coaching issue? I mean, for him to not, he's a very good player. In my opinion, he's a very good player. But I'm kind of surprised to see him actually on the bench.
Yeah, so and it's something that the concern that I've heard expressed about Leroy Sané is this running back and helping out defensively. I don't know if you guys care to speak on that, the Leroy Sané. I mean, I think some games he ups and downs, some games he's very good, but it's inconsistency.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody who we could get a game over today that started. He's a very good one-way player.
So wait, so he started Bernardo Silva on the right, and then he started Sterling on the left, and then he had Ilkan Gundogan in the midfield with Fernandinho. Okay, so that's the way he. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, those wide players for Manchester City are pivotal, and I think Sane should be able to play over Bernardo Silva and move Sterling on the other side.
Sane don't work, and he don't, and he doesn't play in the middle of the pitch.
He would fit right in with Arsenal then.
Yeah,
I mean, he would be right in there with Ozil if that's the case.
Yeah,
so
I
he
think
should have got Arsenal.
Yeah, I think there's inconsistency issues there going on with Man City and Leroy Sané.
With all that being said,
Yeah.
the Manchester City record signing is not even being mentioned.
Can't get a game.
And we don't even want to bring up Riyad Mahrez. I think he's further down the bench now and can't get a game. But impressive by Man City. The Liverpool continue to lead the EPL by 2 points.
But didn't Mahrez come on today? Was he subbed on?
Yeah, to kill time.
He came on because De Bruyne had too many minutes on his leg.
De Bruyne tired. I'm killing time.
And another big news in Europe this week. And Neymar is out. He had another injury, metatarsal injury, and he's probably going to be out for 10 weeks. But the important thing that I want to get you guys' thoughts and lady thoughts on this is that how does this affect PSG going forward in Champions League? Are they pretty much screwed? They played Manchester City in the next round of Champions League.
Manchester United, sorry. Thank you, Biggs.
Yeah. So how does this affect PSG going forward?
First of all, as a Jamaican, none of the Manchester United fans work in the Obia and Neymar. Let's just put that out there from now. That's first of all. Second of all, and most importantly,
I saw a monkey over here. Yeah.
Well, he was just visiting. Okay. But most importantly, PSG is better off without Neymar.
And PSG better off.
And I am worried as a Manchester United
fan.
fan.
So Cavani and Mbappe.
And Mbappe will be more free. And now, before, when Neymar have the ball on the left wing, it's like a black hole.
Okay.
Now the ball will be moving freer. I'm worried.
So who would have the ball on the left wing now for PSG?
Di Maria.
Di Maria will move out.
I know Di Maria will play on the wing instead of playing down the middle where he's a liability.
Yeah, I think
they are stronger.
Kevin, your thoughts on Neymar being out for PSG and how does it affect them in the Champions League going forward?
I concur. I think the ball will stop less. I think Neymar is a special talent, especially when it comes to set play and to winning penalties.
Yes.
So they will definitely sorely miss that. But I concur with the fact that, the ball will stop at one position less. And with the speed that PSG have up front, it can be very critical.
Yeah. Come on. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on this?
Listen. Neymar is the boy who always cry wolf, so it is what it is for him. But everybody's saying PSG is better off without Neymar until they lose to Man U.
Oh, so you think they will actually lose this game to Manchester United in the Champions League?
They will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we'll officially predict it, but it's Neymar, it's a more cornmeal porridge. He's had this injury a few times now, and he needs to probably strengthen those muscles.
Every year is around his sister's birthday.
Yeah, every year is around the same time. All right.
So Junior, you're a mess.
We'll see.
I'm just saying. She have a big party every year.
Transfer deadline wrap up in Europe this year. I mean, we expected, at least some of us expected more news, more flurries in terms of movement. The only big transfer is Miguel Almiron, pretty much, going to Newcastle from Atlanta United for what, $26 million?
What does that say about the biggest signee is a guy from MLS going to Europe?
MLS is leaving its mark. MLS is finally leaving its mark, and now talents are going the other way as opposed to the old talent going opposite. Miguel Almiron, what do we expect from him now in Newcastle?
Not much.
I don't know. After watching how Rondon play, I see Miguel Almiron being Rondon's best friend.
Helping him out.
Because Rondon can now be a Statue of Liberty and push on people.
You think Miguel Almiron will get a lot of games now?
Yeah.
Come on, how do you see Miguel Almiron helping out? I mean, this is a record transfer for Newcastle. Newcastle
I
don't really
think he's
spend
going to be
money
the
on people
spark.
that much.
I think he's going to be the spark for Newcastle, and I see Newcastle really winning some games with him because he has this nose for goal. You know, he's always there, even though he's not a striker. He's an attacking mid.
Yes,
But
yes.
he has this. He can score and he can do the passes and stuff. So I really think that he's going to be the spark for them.
Yeah, yeah. So, Miguel Almiron, thank you so much for your wonderful, wonderful years of Atlanta United. We will miss you, brother. We will miss you. We'll see. All right. Now, to segue from football, any other transfer in Europe or any other major transfer that occurred that we're talking about?
It was a quiet window.
Big up the battleship, Mr. Fellaini, on his way to China. £12 million. I salute you, sir. All right.
Marian Fellaini on his way to a club somewhere out there in China. I guess he will stop grabbing the money here now.
But he's supposed to get $350,000 a week.
Wow, China have money at that. So Marian moves on. To segue from football in Europe.
You're not talking about Peter Crouch, the 38-year-old man to Burnley.
All right, come on, give us your update on the 30th man. You get a 30-second segment.
All I know is I want Peter Crouch agent.
For real.
So Peter Crouch on his way are officially signed for Burnley. 38 years old. Yeah, we'll see how he goes about it. Burnley could use a goal scorer, and Peter Crouch sometimes find his way around the goal. You know. All right. I know it's when I said Peter Crouch is a goal scorer, Kevin look up like, what the hell are you talking about, man? All right, the segue from football in Europe, football in Americas, and to round up and start our football in America segment, MLS roundup this week. Major news in the MLS. Sebastian Giovinco is, moved on from Toronto FC, and it seems like what is it with Toronto and these players? Now he's put some posts out of how Toronto is not really committed to success. And your thoughts? What's going on in Toronto?
We said this about Hazard last week, that we were waiting for the next shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop for this, brother. You never ever burn the bridge that you just crossed. Okay. Never, no matter what in life, you never burn the bridge, and it's going to come back and hurt you.
Come back and hurt you. Kevin, your thoughts on the Sebastian Giovinco stuff? Or should he just why he carrying?
So let me take Junior's perspective about relationship. A girl ever left you yet, and then you just go and tell boy the girl this and the girl that.
Yes.
No, you get left, brother. Just go on by your business.
I would do it too. I'm vexed. I would do it too. Up to you. She don't leave me. I'm vexed. So, are you suggesting that Giovinco carry ex-girl feelings?
Exactly that. But when the girl passed that one next man Ferrari, he got him bunny. Worse.
Your thoughts on this Sebastian Giovinco stuff? Come on.
I just think he had something on his chest that he needed to let off. And maybe this was the only avenue he had to get it out there. Maybe he was trying to talk to somebody about it and they didn't listen. Yeah. But he just wanted people to know, because the fans in Toronto, they're saying that he is leaving for more money.
Yes.
So he wants to put it out there to say that is not what is happening. This is what is happening, because the club isn't saying it. Yes. So he just wanted to clear the air. I don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah. He would probably never come back to Toronto. But Junior, I guarantee you that if he goes over there and scores 15 goals, some other team in MLS will pick him up. Somebody else, a New York City FC will pick him up, or even Atlanta. No, not Atlanta. Atlanta going for the young people. Yeah. DC will pick him up. Somebody will pick him up. So he knows exactly what he's doing.
So he will come back on a designated contract?
Of course he will. Of course he will.
It's a possibility that he can do that.
Because listen, he had the highest selling jersey in Toronto. Yeah. He actually came to Toronto and he put that club on the map. He gave his he gave his all. In the first 2 years that he came here, he was the man. Yeah. So he was the one who built the brand Toronto.
Right.
So he will come back. So our next team will want that too. I mean, remember, for MLS, it's about the money. So if they can sell the jerseys, of course they'll bring him in.
How
Selling
old is
jersey in Toronto is not saying much, come on.
And how old is he now? How old is he? Like, I think it's like 30, 31 right now, right?
I don't know how old Sebastian.
So, all right, well,
how was Perlo when Perlo came? How was Lampard and Perlo and John? What was the other one?
But guess what? Lampard or Pirlo did not burn a bridge coming here. First of all. Second of all, when him come back, we don't know. We never know what's going to happen. We don't know what kind of player he'll be. So we'll see.
And it's kind of because when he left Italy to join up to Toronto, you know, in Italy, people had questioned whether he had ruined his career, his professional career, by joining up with Toronto, and so he took a rest. And I mean, and he had some level of success with them, didn't they? They won.
Because remember, Conte came out and said that playing in MLS is not good enough to play for his country.
Yes, for the team, for the national team. Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, he left his mark in Toronto, but according to the Toronto brass, the executive there, the new president, I think they hired from New York, he said that, you know, it's Giovan Sebastian and his agent's fault. They have a position, a figure, and they weren't moving from that figure. They were not open to negotiation. They wanted whatever 10 or 20 million, and that was it. There was no room for negotiation, and they thought that was just not very good business practice. And so we'll see how Toronto goes about.
But if it was but the other one name, Jose Altidore, they would trump it up. It's just ridiculous. The man knows his worth, and I don't blame him. These players need to know their value and ask for what they think they're worth.
Yes, I agree. In other news in MLS, preseason kicked off yesterday. Atlanta United, the Frank de Boer era officially started with a game. They defeated Seattle. It's not much to read into the defeat. Seattle 7-1. That's more goals in one Atlanta United game for Frank de Boer than his entire Crystal Palace coaching career. So we don't want to read too much into it, but I mean, Pitti played and the team looked to be forming. Any thoughts on that?
Just preseason.
Preseason game. Hopefully they get a couple more touches.
Yeah.
Did Romario Williams play?
And Romario Williams scored too. And Romario Williams scored. Any MLS news coming from your side? Come on.
No.
No.
But there's a transfer rumor, and I'm surprised that you guys haven't said anything about it. Florentin Pogba. They're saying that Atlanta United is on the verge of signing him.
Yes. So
that's old news.
Yeah, Ball Chat posted it on the Ball Chat YouTube channel. Come on, you don't listen to the Ball Chat YouTube channel.
It's a perfect time to plug it. People, follow the YouTube channel right now, Ball Chat.
Subscribe, like, and share.
We had breaking news.
Yes, that was on the Ball Chat YouTube channel.
All right, so, and then Sporting Kansas might get the young Arsenal player. His name is Gideon Zelalem.
Yes. Yeah, they're
right, so they're talking about getting him. And Toronto is trying to get Terrence Boyd, who's the old international player. He used to play second division team in Germany.
Yeah.
Then New York FC is trying to get this Romania international, Alex Mitrita, for like $9 million.
Yeah.
So that's all I have for transfer news.
But so before we leave the MLS news roundup, one final thing. Acosta from Colorado. Rumor is that, you know, PSG up the ante in terms of trying to get him.
It's from DC, not Colorado.
From where?
It's Acosta from DC United.
From yes. PSG up the ante in terms of trying to get him. And somebody, was it Tuchel who made a mess of that transfer?
They never know him.
Yeah. Your assessment on that, and how does Acosta go about his season knowing that he had a chance to move on to PSG?
Acosta says he's fine. He says, you know, DC is extending his contract. DC is giving him the money that he's asking for. I heard 10 million. I'm not sure how it is because DC pocket not so deep.
But DC refused that offer 2 weeks ago.
DC
refused that offer 2 weeks ago when he got cut from the national squad.
You know what? DC, I don't see DC refusing 10. I think they offered 10 million and DC wanted 12.5. I don't see DC United holding off for $2.5 million.
Okay. So I mean, knowing that PSG was at his doorstep, or you think it was just a sort of, rumor, fairy tale deal? You didn't think PSG was that serious in him?
No, I don't think so.
I heard DC was catfished. That's what I heard. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the rumor.
I didn't think this was a serious. This was a serious talk.
But that's
I was
what they're
surprised
saying
though,
on social media. But the thing is this, you and I know that agents push story out there,
Right,
especially when it comes to negotiating. When you're
Yes,
negotiating for a new contract or whatever, the agents always put stories out there.
Yes.
And then their thing is someone in the middle. It's not PSG, it's someone in the middle. Because he even did medical.
Yeah.
Right, but Tuchel said he had no idea whatsoever. So never got somewhere.
But isn't the same thing with Sarri though? Isn't Sarri said the same thing about
All right,
Christian
we're not go back to Chelsea.
All roads lead right back there.
Chelsea. All right, the segue from we're kind of pushing up against the clock here. Asia Cup roundup quickly. Qatar, as Kevin rightfully called it, Qatar won the Asia Cup.
The Africans won again.
Asia Cup, Reg. The African.
Do I need to pat myself on the back again?
You can pat yourself on the back.
No, I don't want to hurt myself.
Your thoughts on the Asia Cup and Qatar's success here, and do we expect anything from Qatar in 2022 when they actually host the actual World Cup?
I expect a lot from the Africans because they are playing in Asia and now they are coming to play in South America.
Okay.
For the Copa. So they are playing in both confederations coming from Africa. Watch out for them in the World Cup.
Yeah, I expect African United to go on with a bag of things. Yeah.
And by African United we mean Qatar.
Yes, Africa United will go to the second round. And that's what I expect. And as I said before, money goes a long way, and everything to do with this World Cup and football governing body, FIFA, it's all about money.
Yes,
so if the country with the most money always win.
Come on,
why we act like it's a surprise?
Yeah, Qatar. Come on, your assessment of the Asian Cup and Qatar actually winning this tournament quickly, please.
No, dear. Listen, let us not get excited. Qatar just find some team, beat an aging Japan. I don't see them doing well in the World Cup.
Okay. All right. The preview and prediction segment. Let's segue to our preview and prediction segment. 3 big games coming on the pipe this week. First, Copa del Rey semi-final. Real Madrid versus Barcelona, first leg. Your thoughts on this game? Lionel Messi is playing like a general, but I think he picked up a little knock yesterday against Valencia, so we don't know exactly if he's going to be rolling out for that game. First leg is at Real Madrid, I think. I'm not sure where the first leg will be played. Your official prediction on this game?
Barca going to beat the brakes off of Real Madrid.
Barca going to break the brakes.
Yeah.
I expect Barca to win.
You expect Barca? Come on.
Real Madrid 2-1.
Real Madrid
What?
2-1. Real Madrid 2-1. Real Madrid is doing okay. Manchester City versus Chelsea. I have Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid as another game to predict, but it's not worth predicting that game. I saw Atletico Madrid today against Real Betis, and it's a bag of garbage. I mean, that's foolishness. We don't waste our time with that game. Man City versus Chelsea is a big EPL game this week, and that game should be quite riveting. It's Sunday at 11 a.m. How many should we expect Chelsea to get?
Come on, I'll see the floor to you.
It's a 4-1 City.
Jesus!
Where the game
going
played?
and score the 4?
Where's the game played?
The game will be played at City.
Oh,
Does it matter?
no.
And just for football lovers, I mean, I'm sure most people are aware that City lost the first of this encounter in the EPL 2-0 when the tactical genius Mauricio Sarri pulled one out of the hat and defeated them.
Come on, he said tactical genius. So
I mean,
Let's move on.
yeah. So what do you think? I mean, what's your official prediction, Kevin and Biggs? I mean,
City 3-1.
City 3-1. Biggs.
City 2-1 and they get kicked out.
I mean, I think this is a draw game. Chelsea will
So
go down there.
who going to score the one for Chelsea? Everybody have
He
one.
go in.
Own goal.
He go in.
Who's the one goal?
No, but City defensively is soft though.
He go
That's
in.
hence our own goal.
City defensively sound.
You know what? He scored his 2 goals. He's going to miss 5 more, and then he needs to score our next 2. So I think the whole 5 he's going to miss is the Man City game.
All right, so the consensus seems that City will win. I have a draw in this game. And to segue our head home to wrap up our show this week, our power ranking segment. Boy, people are requesting about the power ranking hard.
So it's back.
The power ranking brought to us by our people over at Blazing Kitchen. Blazing Fire Kitchen still us and can't get no food. Blazing, send some food we in a brethren. And the number 10 spot, Spurs. Tottenham Hotspur sitting in the number 10 spot. Mauricio Pochettino is talking a lot these days. Seems like a man ready to leave.
I need a shrink.
What did he say? You need a dryer. If you need a dryer.
You need a washing machine and get a dryer.
You need a washing machine and get a dryer. And in the number 9 spot, we have Mönchengladbach. Biggs, how did Mönchengladbach make it to the number 9 spot in this week's power ranking?
You asking me?
Yeah, but
the man them doing good. They're second in the German Bundesliga. Bayern Munich, the mainstay, is looking up to them. You have to give them a nod.
Yes, and Bayern Munich lost yesterday to Leverkusen with Leon Bailey, Jamaica's favorite baller. Leon Bailey scoring a wicked free kick.
Kyle didn't give it to him?
Maybe before. And in the number 8 spot, come on, we have Manchester United sitting in number 8, and Biggs advocated heavily. The only thing that he cared for was Manchester United in number 8 spot. But they're doing well. They're doing well. Yes, 10 games and undefeated run in all competition.
Much deserved.
Even though they escape against Burnley in the midweek game.
It doesn't matter.
You know. Come on, in the 7th spot we have Porto. Porto is leading the Portuguese lead. You know, continuing doing well, and they're looking forward to the Champions League round of 16 game. I expect Porto to actually make some noise in the next round of matches. Juventus is in the 6th spot. Juventus is struggling. Come on, any thoughts on what's going on with Juventus? They lost recently in the Coppa Italia, and you know.
And them draw.
Yeah, they're due for some letdown. So
well, I see this U2 movement trip up more powerful man than Ronaldo. So.
Oh my gosh! And this is this U2 is the Me Too movement.
Yeah, man, this Me Too movement trip up more powerful man than Ronaldo. So.
Yeah, so this is the allegations that came out of Las Vegas with the rape allegations, and those investigations are still underway. Hey, Cristiano, don't come America, Bridget. Stay far. Stay far. And in the number 5 spot is Manchester City. Manchester City rebounded after defeating after the loss to Newcastle, so they defeated Arsenal this week. PSG is in the number 4th spot. PSG continue to lead the Champions, the French League. PSG is only dedicated towards the Champions League. That's essentially what they want to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because now they're losing to Lyon 2-1 in the league, 90th minute, without Neymar.
And Lyon with the impressive Memphis, the pie is going wassy.
That same one leave.
You know,
it's because Lyon is not a big club.
Yeah.
Can go back home to Manu.
Yes, I think Manu, he would do Manu a world of good.
We just signed Marshall to 5-year extension. It's okay.
And the 3rd position this week is Dortmund. Dortmund continues to lead the Bundesliga. They defeated Eintracht 1-0 yesterday, Frankfurt 1-0. You know, Dortmund, they're actually, Mönchengladbach and Bayern Munich are closing the gap on them in that Bundesliga. I don't know if they're actually going to win this thing. I don't know if they have the depth to win this.
I don't think so.
I don't know if they have the depth. Barcelona is in the number 2 slot. Come on, your favorite baller at Barcelona, Kevin Prince Boateng. He didn't get any game this week. What happened?
He's not match fit.
He's not match fit.
He just signed the baller.
There goes that R word again.
Give him some time to be match fit. He's not match fit.
There goes that relationship word again.
And Kevin Prince Boateng is Yeah, sitting on the bench. Coutinho is playing very well though. He's slowly coming along. And in the number one position, Liverpool continue to be impressive. They sit on top of the EPL. 2 points ahead. So Liverpool is number one in this week's ball chat power ranking. Boy, ready for some exciting football again.
Yes, sir.
Barcelona, ready again. Link us on Ball Chat 1 on Twitter, Ball Chat Podcast on Instagram, Ball Chat on Facebook, and email us ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Regin, let's mind look aside Reno lose again.
If you're listening to us on Ball Chat Podcast, don't forget to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, and you can see the video there.
What's a Reno?
My youth, Tivoli beat Reno, bro.
Share and subscribe. Ball Chat, we're out.